It is time for action now. There has never been a more critical time to stand united and ensure that those who have been exploited and abused are heard loud and clear. I'm Lauren Hirsch. I'm the National Director of World Without Exploitation, our national coalition to combat human trafficking and sexual exploitation. For far too long, survivors have been sidelined. They have been silenced. But that stops today. The women you are about to hear from have been fighting literally for decades to have their voices heard. We are all done waiting. Now, we're no longer waiting, we're demanding it. Our call to action is crystal clear. Okay, thank you. Glad that wasn't a rock at my head. Our call to action is crystal clear. 1, release the files. All of the files in the FBI's custody. Survivors and the public deserve the full truth. 2, commit to a truth-seeking mission. No political theater, no partisan politics, just the truth. And 3, do not pardon Ghislaine Maxwell or grant her any special benefits. She was convicted of unspeakable crimes. Justice cannot and must not be undone. But today is not about Ghislaine Maxwell. It's not about Jeffrey Epstein. It's about these brave women. So it feels fitting for me that our first speaker is Liz Stein. 4 weeks ago, our team at World Without Exploitation sat down with Liz, and truthfully, she was a little frustrated. She was feeling that everybody was talking about survivors, but nobody was truly listening to survivors. And we knew that needed to change. So after listening to Liz, we knew we needed to create a space and send a clear message. It is time to listen to the voices of survivors. So here we are. What Liz reminds us is that courage is contagious. You will not see one woman walk up here alone. She will walk up in solidarity with her survivor sisters. And that is deliberate because this movement is all about solidarity. When one person steps forward, we all have the courage to step forward. All right, let's do it. Liz, come on up here. Liz is joined this morning with 4 of her sisters, 4 women in our World We Survivor Training Fellowship. Please welcome Gigi, LJ, Jessica, and Terry. There has never been a more urgent moment. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Gabrielle Prieto, and it is an honor to welcome you here today. To every survivor present and to every ally standing with us, your courage, your solidarity, and your presence are powerful. We also thank our partners, Worldweed and the Coalition, for uniting this moment of hope and determination. As we gather on the Capitol Hill today, because survivors of Epstein, Maxwell, and countless others have said, we want to be seen, we want to be heard, and we want to be safe. This is not about politics. This is about survivor, lead, a sister in this movement, and a voice of resilience. She stands not only for herself, but for the countless others who have been silenced. Please join me in welcoming Liz Stein to the podium. Thank you.
Yeah! Good morning, everyone. Oh, wow. Welcome. Looking out into this crowd, it's so hard to believe that this is all happening. It was born out of frustration, sitting around a kitchen table, and look at us here today. I'm really blown away with all of this support. There's definitely power in numbers. Today, we're here to celebrate the great strength of my survivor sisters who are here in Washington, and to all of you who came out today to stand with survivors. My name is Liz Stein. I am a speaker, writer, educator, and activist in the anti-trafficking movement. I am a World Without Exploitation Stand Fellow, and I am also a survivor of Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. I met Ghislaine when I was a senior in college. I was just 21 years old. Maxwell introduced me to Jeffrey Epstein later on that day. That evening was the sliding glass doors moment that changed the trajectory of my entire life. I was once bright, fun, outgoing, and kind. I loved people, and people genuinely enjoyed being around me. But after meeting Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, it felt like someone shut off the lights to my soul. Instead of pursuing my dream of going to law school after graduation, overcoming the terror and the trauma that was inflicted on me by these sex traffickers, overcoming that became my decades-long full-time career. As sisters, as survivors, we're initiated into a sisterhood. We're in a sorority that none of us asked to join, but we all stand here today strong, stronger together because our collective voice is powerful. We stand together also to honor the beautiful souls who lost their lives in the pursuit of getting justice for Maxwell and Epstein's crimes. This is not a partisan issue. This is a crime, the crime of sex trafficking, and the criminals must be held accountable. Disbelieving survivors creates a culture of silence. There is strength in numbers, and our courage is contagious. I want to humanize sex trafficking survivors for you all, just for one moment. We are not others. We are your sisters, your friends, your colleagues. We are in your community. Think about the women that you love, and then think about them being the victim of sexual assault. It's uncomfortable, and it's hard to think about. Could you stand for their abuse? I hope not. This is a crime that, by our Justice Department's own admission, has 1,000 victims. 1,000 victims. Do you know 1,000 people? Think of the enormity of that. Could you be okay with a crime happening in your community to 1,000 girls and young women and not holding the perpetrators accountable? I think not. The government's mishandling of this case has silenced our truth from the start. Nevertheless, beginning with Maria Farmer in 1996, the survivors of this crime have been relentless in speaking out and seeking justice, oftentimes at great risk to our own safety and well-being. It is the voices of survivors. I'm going to repeat that because it bears repeating. It is the voices of survivors of these crimes that are important. So we are here together. We are here together to stand united. And I want to uplift the words of someone who can't be with us today, but who has inspired us all in different ways. So to quote the late Virginia Giuffre, mothers, fathers, sisters, and brothers need to show that the battle lines are drawn and stand together to fight for the future of victims. Is protesting the answer? I don't know, but we've got to start somewhere. And we are here today to start somewhere. So if you are watching us from home, if you're in the audience and you believe that you should stand with survivors, show us your support. Hashtag stand with survivors. Thank you.
All right, we're going to just keep it moving. I'd now love to welcome to the stage Sigrid McCauley, Annie Farmer, Virginia's incredible family, and Teresa Helm.
Good morning. We come together in the nation's capital at this watershed moment for survivors. They're demanding justice, they're demanding accountability, and they're demanding action. For far too long, Maxwell and Epstein committed crimes throughout our country and our world, and it's time to hold those that facilitated those crimes accountable. We've heard a lot of words for many, far too many years. It's time, finally, for action. Earlier this year, many of you know that we lost a dear friend and a client of mine, Virginia Giuffre. Her wonderful family is with us here today. I can tell you that she would have loved this moment. It would have been so special for her to see all of you here today. And I know she's with us. And what she would want you to hear today is stay strong and keep fighting for justice. Thank you. I'm going to take a moment to read from one of our fellow survivors who, thank you, was too afraid to come here today. Her name is Juliet Bryant, and she asked me to read this letter to you all. I wish I could be here today. Unfortunately, I'm too afraid to travel to America after everything that has happened. I am, however, here in spirit, like many other survivors, such as Virginia Giuffre and Carolyn Adriano. I want to speak out for all victims of abuse, especially those who can no longer speak, those both alive and dead. For years, the truth about Epstein has been covered up. They say there's no Epstein list. Speak to us. It's time to dig deeper, do the financial research. It's clear that for years there has been a big cover-up. We have all been lied to. It's especially difficult for victims of Epstein to move on when it's thrown in their face daily through the media without any closure. The public has now become the victims of this as well. We have all been badly hurt by this. It's time for the truth to come out. It's time to stand up for victims of all crimes. It's time for the perpetrators to be held accountable. Thank you for being here and for standing by myself and other victims. Together we will make change. There is strength in numbers, and we will do it together. From Juliet Bryant. And now I'd like to introduce Annie Farmer.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. Your support means more than you know. My sister, Maria Farmer, was not able to attend, and so I will read her remarks for her. Due to the debilitating effects of the last few years of cancer treatment, I'm unable to be here today. My sister, Annie Farmer, will speak for me. She is a primary reason that I reported Epstein, Maxwell, and others to the FBI in 1996 after they assaulted us in 2 different locations and held me captive at Wexner's estate, while Maxwell also stole photos that were my private art studies and twisted them into child sexual abuse materials, harming my sisters and myself. In 2006, the FBI demanded my testimony for a federal trial, promising justice, but failed again. For 30 years, I've fought not only sex traffickers, but a federal government that has enabled them, while that same government fully ignored teen safety and my many FOIA report requests. After 3 decades of failure, I am suing them for answers. Virginia Giuffre's heroism, speaking her truth, her humility, her bravery, and love ended my 14 years of fear and silence. She is the heart of this fight. Please take a moment of silence for her. And I would just like to say, speaking for myself now, how very much it means to see this show of solidarity today. After feeling so isolated and alone for so many years with this fight, it's incredible to see all of you standing here and to feel the support coming from elsewhere as well. As a public, since I've come out publicly in this case, I've received so many notes and messages from people who have been impacted by this story because of how much they relate to the struggles involved in this story. Unfortunately, that's because so many people are affected by these crimes. We have a huge, widespread issue with child sexual abuse, with sexual violence against women, with abuse of power in all forms that leads to all forms of trafficking. Right? And so I truly believe when you're facing problems at this scale, it requires this type of force of coming together, creative solutions around not just the punishment of these very guilty perpetrators, but also education, so people know the signs and understand the signs and can recognize the things that I didn't recognize when I was being, lured into this world. So I'm so grateful for organizations that do this work. Thank you for World Without Exploitation for hosting this and for doing the very, very important work of education. And I just want to thank all of you. I think we all have a role to play in coming together to change these very challenging situations that we face and to solve these problems. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sky Roberts, and I'm here today with my wife, Amanda Roberts, and my brother, Daniel Wilson. We are proud and heartbroken to be standing here before you as the family of Virginia Roberts Giuffre. Virginia is not only our sister, she is a warrior, a survivor. And even though she is no longer with us in body, her voice, her courage, and her fight live on through every one of us here today. We want to start by saying thank you to the survivors who show unimaginable strength simply by standing here, to World Without Exploitation, whose tireless work helps turn pain into purpose, and to every person who refuses to stay silent, even when the world makes it easier to look away. Yeah. It is an honor, a true privilege to stand with you, to support you, and to help keep Virginia's voice alive. Virginia fought for truth. She fought to expose a system that allowed the wealthy, the connected, and the powerful to exploit and abuse girls and young women without consequence. She fought for every survivor who was silenced, doubted, or discarded. And she never backed down, even when the world tried to break her. Today we rally not only in her memory, but in solidarity with every survivor. We are here to say, we see you, we believe you, and we will not stop until justice is served. Because justice is not selective. It does not and must not bend to money, influence, or titles. We are here because every survivor deserves more than a headline. They deserve more than a single conviction. They deserve the full weight of the law behind them. Our demands are clear. Elaine Maxwell must remain in a maximum security prison for the rest of her life. No leniency, no deals, no special treatment. The Epstein documents must be unsealed. Every name, every detail, no more secrets, no more protection for those who preyed on the vulnerable. And finally, we demand full accountability from every enabler, every accomplice, every person in power who turned a blind eye. The justice system was not designed to serve the powerful. It was meant to protect the people. And it's time it started doing just that. This movement isn't just about the past. It's about reshaping the future. A future where survivors are not shamed, silenced, or ignored, but heard, honored, and empowered. Thank you. Thank you for standing here, for fighting alongside us, and for refusing to let this story end with injustice. Virginia's voice echoes in every one of us. Let's make sure the world keeps listening. I want to end it with a quote from Virginia, and I'm going to hand it over to my wife, Amanda.
This is a quote from Virginia's journals. I look forward to the days when money and power does not stop the truth from coming out and the righteous prevail.
Thank you.
Well, good morning. I am Teresa J. Helm. I am a survivor of Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, and I work with the National Center on Sexual Exploitation here in Washington, D.C. very proudly. And today, I stand here as an expert of my lived experience at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, or as I first knew her as Miss Maxwell. I was systematically recruited, trafficked across this great nation, groomed, and assaulted. Ghislaine, it was your butler that greeted me at the front door of your beautiful home, and it was your calm, manipulative, and fraudulent demeanor that cultivated my trust. That coercive system that you have mastered was entirely end-game oriented. And that end game was to feed the perversion of you and Jeffrey through sexual violence. It was you who sent me off to the home of a monster, knowing what was waiting for me. Ghislaine Maxwell, you are the system. And now, you are but a part of another system. one that you've earned through your very own choices and actions. A prison system where you deserve to live for every moment of your 20-year sentence. And that alone is not enough. Systems require support. There are others that are complicit, that have caused harm to women and children, that have benefited from that harm, and as it stands in this moment, have enjoyed impunity and dodged accountability. We've heard her voice, now hear ours, loud and clear. Systems built with a root of corruption, violence, and deceit always crumble. That time is coming. Your pseudo-power has diminished. It is our time in the power of justice, of common sense. It's our system now. This is a call to action. Now is the time to sift through and get rid of the perpetrators and bad actors. This imminent shift is how our country operates. It's how we will secure this nation's future. And the world is watching. And before I step away, I wanted to add one quick thought. Let's stop calling it an Epstein client list. And let's call it what it actually is. It's Epstein's sex spire list. Thank you.
I'm so proud and honored to be here today. My name is Lisa Phillips, and I'm the host of award-winning podcast From Now On, where I interview survivors. In the year 2000, I was taken to Jeffrey Epstein's island while on a photo shoot in the Caribbean. Who I saw and what I experienced there would change me forever. For months, I had to avoid Jeffrey, but he told me that if I wanted to succeed as a Ford model, he could make it happen. And he was right. He introduced me to Katie Ford and many others in the entertainment business. His grip on the modeling business was undeniable. Not just the Ford family, but Victoria's Secret, Faith Cates, Jean-Luc Brunel, Victoria's Secret. Epstein's reach went to the very top of fashion. He could make a model's career. What I didn't realize then was that once he lured someone like me in, he could also destroy my career if I did not do what he wanted me to do. In New York City, countless young women were abused by him. Everyone in the industry knew, yet he was too powerful to stop. He had friends in all over entertainment and arts, and his value to those friends made him untouchable. But I ask you, why? Who was he to our government that he was allowed to operate openly for decades? Why was he allowed to sponsor visas for young models, using their immigration status as leverage to abuse them and silence them? Epstein was not just a serial predator. He was an international human trafficker. And many around him knew this. Many participated, and many profited. And yet he was protected. I know what it's like to be trafficked to others. I know that the files contain the names of powerful men who have been shielded because of their fame or their fortune. So I stand here today, not just for myself, but for every woman who has been silenced, exploited, and dismissed. Thank you. And we are not asking for pity. We are demanding accountability. Congress must choose. Will you continue to protect predators, or will you finally protect survivors? Transparency is justice. Release the files, end the secrecy, and stand with us in declaring that no one, no billionaires, no politicians, not world leaders, is above the law. And let me announce now, several of us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list of names. Yes. We know the names. Many of us were abused by them. Now, together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know were regularly in the Epstein world. And it will be done by survivors and for survivors. No one else is involved. Stay tuned for more details on that. Because history is watching, and so are the women who will come after us. Thank you.
If that's not bravery, I do not know what is. Woo! Okay, we're bringing up another group of women. Ashley, Danny, Jess, Haley, and Wendy. Come on up.
Okay. Well, this will be fun. So my name is Ashley Rubright, and I am a survivor of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Some things I want to say. To any survivors out there who feel like they don't matter, it doesn't matter if you went once or countless times. We were groomed, we were manipulated, and we were taken advantage of. For decades, survivors have been suffocated by speculation. We've been mocked, we've been doubted, we've been re-traumatized, while those responsible hide in secrecy. Why don't we deserve justice? This is not partisan. However, this is very political, as the only path to justice is through our political system. And this is about justice. This is about accountability. This is about protecting the innocence of our children and honoring the dignity of survivors. Everywhere we turn, the story follows us. It's in headlines, jokes, music, grocery store checkout lines, random conversations that you hear people having in restaurants. For more than 20 years, we've been unable to escape it. And every time new promises are made, our sparks of hope are lit, only to be extinguished again. We are tired. However, we are not going away. We will not stop or give up, and we will be on the front lines of this battle. We are no longer scared. And let's be clear, there were so many enabling adults. Those enablers actively turned a blind eye, and they are the greatest danger.
Yes.
And you know who you are, as do we. You allowed us to be abused for a fat check and a cushy life, which you still have. And to those in power, hear us clearly. Do your job. Release what needs to be released.
Yes.
And hold those responsible accountable. Survivors, sorry. Thank you. Survivors deserve peace. Survivors deserve truth. Survivors deserve justice. And to my fellow survivors, your voice matters, your story matters, and you matter. Together we are louder than the silence. Together we will not stop until justice is done.
I'm so proud of you.
Good afternoon. Wow, a lot of people showed out for us today. I wasn't expecting all this support. What an incredible feeling, and thank you for everybody for being here. I'm going to try to make this as quick so the other girls don't have to be crunching for time. My name is Haley Robson. I came out in 2019 on the documentary Filthy Rich. I have been very focused on bringing more awareness to all of the survivors. I am so proud to stand with them. I am so proud to be up here to support them because they deserve all the love and support. And I just want to say to the women who chose this moment to come out for the very first time about your abuse, I cannot think of a more important, greater purpose in life than to stand in solidarity when time is against us, when the politicians have made us an enemy, when the world is watching and everybody is hoping for some type of result. Thank you for choosing this moment for the first time to be so brave to come out and stand in solidarity. I prayed for a moment. I prayed for this moment where God would fill us with reinforcements. I want to acknowledge all the women, unfortunately, that couldn't be here today, because I think that is the only list of real great importance, and we should never forget the voices that were not only silenced, but that are not here today, and we should never forget the sacrifices that they made. So today I would like to take a moment for Virginia, Sky, Danielle, and Carolyn. Their voices were just as powerful, and they were silenced just as much. And for some reason, I can feel their spirit, especially Virginia's today. She would be so proud, and she would be so beside herself to see this one moment we have all came together to unite. And for our government, and for the politicians who have taken our trauma and have weaponized it against us, making it unbearable, making it unlivable, making it hard to move on in a life that we wish to live in happiness and joy and peace and injustice that can only come from within at this point. And we have gotten to this point. Shame on you. Shame on you for using our trauma to weaponize this moment. We are not going to be fooled by your trickery. We are not going to be fooled by the lies, by the conspiracy theories. We are the keys to this situation. We have the truth. And the FBI knows the truth. The government knows the truth. You may pull the wool over the sheep's eyes, but we are the keys. We know who was involved. We know the game. We know the players. And we are sitting here for 20 years waiting for you to get up and do something. Well, guess what? Your time is up, and now we're doing it.
How do you follow that? Hello, everybody. My name is Wendy Pasante, and I was abused by Jeffrey Epstein when I was 14 years old. I'm not here to relive what happened. I'm here to be counted and to make sure others are counted too. I once believed my silence was strength. Hold it together. Don't draw attention. Today I know that strength sounds like my voice. It sounds like everybody's voice is up here. Silence only protects predators, not children. People ask, what about the victims? We're here. Yes. We're here today, and there's more of us. I stand with many who are still finding their words. I live in a world where being understood is a struggle, where people in power would rather sweep us under the rug in hopes that we'll go away. We won't. Being a survivor is not a headline. It's our life. Yes. We have to live it. It's panic in a grocery store. It's smiling at work while my hands tremble. It's waking up at 3 a.m. with my heart racing and not knowing why. It's living with PTSD, anxiety, and depression, and your nervous system's on guard at all times, even in the safest room around the safest people. Healing isn't tidy. It's therapy. It's wait lists. It's trying a medication and trying again, over and over, for years. It's setting boundaries with some people who won't understand. Survival isn't weakness, it's wisdom we've earned. If you are a survivor hearing me, your voice is never too late, too much, or too little. If all you could do was show up today, you're already trying to make a difference.
Yes, yes.
You do not owe anyone your story. You are owed safety, care, and belief. Your breath is proof that harm does not get the last word. I'm not asking anyone to take a political side. I really don't even follow a lot of politics. I'm asking you to take a stand in solidarity. Protect the vulnerable, not the powerful.
Yes.
Protect children and survivors, not titles and reputations.
Right. Yes.
Our silence doesn't keep us safe. And I hope today's courage from all of us ladies can help someone else be safer tomorrow. We are here and we refuse to be erased. So thank you guys for listening to all of us and being here today.
Come on, girlfriend. We got this.
Beautiful. Yes. Can I give you this guy? Or can I give somebody the sign? Is that okay?
You got it.
Beautiful. Thank you. Oh, hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. As I stand here today and look around, I want to acknowledge what it feels like to be in the presence of these incredibly brave, powerful women that I stand up here with. I am so empowered by each and every one of your fortitude, and I am following in the brave footsteps of those that came before me. While we each have our own stories and walk down different paths of life, we are bonded together as survivors. When I look into these beautiful faces, I am reminded that we all started our journeys with big hopes and dreams. Jeffrey Epstein and his co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, stole and systematically destroyed those dreams. We are a mosaic of shattered hopes and dreams at their hands. As an aspiring dancer, the manipulation came in forms of offering me dance studio space, discussing opportunities to meet with ballet masters, and aiding a very ill family member of mine, none of which would ever come to pass. Instead, I was left in a cycle of abuse that wore me down and broke me. When it happened, I would have to completely disassociate. Similar to a coma, my brain would need to protect itself, so I would retreat in choreographing in my own head to escape the cruel acts that were being carried out on my body. After, I would go to the studio bundled in giant, baggy clothing. I remember standing there, staring in the mirror as if it were an empty void. I was past the point of tears. There was nothing left. I was a hollow shell of myself. I could no longer watch my body move, let alone dance. He had taken something sacred from me. 2 decades later, I am still experiencing lingering effects of what happened to me as a teenager. I am just one story in the mosaic of women taking back their power by confronting the horrific truths of their pasts due to Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. We stand here today in the nation's capital for no other reason than to say that women's voices will not be marginalized. We stand together as a mosaic of stories, but we're also finding our way back to ourselves. We are reclaiming the fragmented shards of the hopes and dreams of our past to paint a better future for the next generation of women. This story has come to Washington to be told.
Yes.
We will be heard. Thank you.
Yes. What a whole
My name is Jess Michaels, and I'm a 1991 Jeffrey Epstein survivor. 27 years. For 27 years, I thought I was the only one that Jeffrey Epstein raped. I believed I was alone, and I was kept silent by the shame that was inside me and by the fear outside in the world. But I wasn't the only one. None of us were. And what once kept us silent now fuels that fire and the power of our voices. We are not the footnotes in some infamous predator's tabloid article. We are the experts and the subjects of this story.
Yes.
We are the proof that fear did not break us.
Yes.
And we don't just speak for ourselves, but for every survivor whose story is still unspoken.
Yes.
For those not with us today. For Virginia, whose courage lit the path and opened the door for us to walk through. This is what power looks like. Survivors united, voices joined, refusing to be dismissed. Know this, justice and accountability are not favors from the powerful.
Yes.
They are obligations decades overdue. This moment began with Epstein's crimes, but it's going to be remembered for survivors demanding justice, demanding truth, demanding accountability, and we will not stop until survivor voices shape justice, transform culture, and define the future. We are no longer whispers. We are one powerful voice too loud to ignore, and we will never be silenced again. Thank you.